What's up everybody, Matthew Monis here, and this is the Dell Inspiron 7000. This is the version with the IPS display, not that terrible TN panel. But is it worth it? Let's find out. I really dig the design. It has a bit of red, but it's not too overbearing like the Acer VX15. The top and bottom is made of this matte rubber plastic, while the deck is just regular plastic. Overall, it feels very nice, even though it's not the lightest compared to the competition. It's heavier than the Acer VX15, Lenovo Legion Y520, and the HP Omen 15 at 5.76 pounds. For ports, on the left you have a Noble Lock, one USB 3.0 port, and an SD card slot. On the right there's an Ethernet jack, HDMI port, two more USB 3.0 ports, and an audio jack. Now there's no USB Type-C, which is very similar to the HP Omen 15. I really feel Dell should have put one on this laptop. Now, by far, this is my favorite laptop to open because there's only one screw to get inside. In the middle, you have two RAM slots that can hold up to 32 gigabytes. On the left, there's a 256 gigabyte M2 SSD with decent read and write speeds. Just below is an empty slot for a 2.5-inch hard drive that can be added anytime. To the right of it, you have a 74 watt-hour battery, and on the top, you have two fans with the heat pipe running across the middle. My review unit is the second cheapest one you can buy. It comes with an i5 7300HQ processor. There is a 256 gigabyte SSD, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and a GTX 1050 Ti. This one retails for $850, but you do have the option to spec it all the way up to an i7 with a 4K display, which will cost you an extra $350. Now, a lot of people complained about the poor colors of the Full HD TN panel on the previous version of this model. Dell decided to release an IPS version. I gotta say, it's much better, and it puts it in line with the competition. So the difference between this one and the previous one is that you're gonna get much better color accuracy. The contrast ratios are gonna be a little bit better. It's gonna have a higher sRGB rating, and the viewing angles are gonna be a lot more significant. So here's my thing. If you're gonna buy this laptop, do not buy the one with the TN panel. Now, if you're a designer, no matter which version you choose, it's still not the best for design work, but for gaming, the IPS version is totally fine. So just above the display is a 720p webcam. It looks like this. It's pretty good. I think it's fine for Skype conferencing, video chat, and streaming video games. Sound is not bad. It's coming out of two hidden speakers from the front of the laptop, and there's a subwoofer on the bottom. It gets pretty loud, much louder than the HP Omen 15 and Lenovo Y520. There's good highs, decent mids, and there is even a little bit of bass. Surprisingly, I really like this keyboard. There's 1.5 millimeters of travel distance with a nice springy feel. There's a numpad for those that need it, and 2 levels of red backlighting. The only complaint that I have is the small arrow keys. For a gaming laptop, I feel they should be a bit bigger. Just below is the touchpad. It's spacious with a nice texture to it and a satisfying click. Much better than the awkward buttons on the Lenovo Y520s. Gestures and scrolling were both accurate. I really love these budget gaming laptops. They allow people who can't afford the more expensive laptops to still game comfortably at 1080p. That's what you can do with this one. Solid gaming at 1080p with settings set between medium and high. Now, I played a lot of Overwatch with settings set to high and was getting steady frame rates between 60 to 70 frames per second when a lot was going on. As you can see here in other games, most games can be at high settings, but if you like Battlefield 1, you'll have to drop it down to medium for better results. Just remember, if you can spend the extra $50 and get the model with the 1050 Ti instead of the 1050, the performance gain is totally worth it. Doing regular stuff, I was able to get about 8 to 9 hours of use before needing to charge. This is much better than the 5 to 6 hours I'd get on competing products. Now, if you game on it specifically without it being plugged in, don't expect to get more than 1 to 2 hours. So this brings me to heat management. I was literally playing Overwatch for a solid hour to 2 hours, and the CPU temperature never went over 70 degrees. There's also no thermal throttling. That's pretty good compared to some of the other laptops that I've tested. The surface temperature stayed around 41 degrees Celsius, which is good, and even when the fans were on full blast, it never got over 50 decibels. Alright, so here are my closing thoughts. The Dell Inspiron 7000 with an IPS display is a great budget laptop. It has a nice clean design, good sound, great performance for the price, and exceptional battery life. I didn't add this to my top 3 budget gaming laptop video I did recently because of the TN panel, but now that it has an IPS display, it totally would have made the cut. So here's the thing. If you're on a budget and you can't afford more than $900, this is a great choice. But if you can shell out another $50 to $100, get the Acer Predator Helios instead. You'll get a faster processor and a GTX 1060. So that wraps up my review of the Dell Inspiron 7000 with the IPS display. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I'll see everybody in the next video.